Hello, my name is Igor. I work as a programmer in arhi.teach. I have special higher education, working in various fields for 10 years. In this course, I will teach you the blueprints. What are the blueprints anyway? Blueprints are a visual programming system designed specifically for the Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine, in the first place, is a game engine on which powerful modern games are made. And in fact, we will get a minigame eventually. And no game can be done without programming its logic. You can program in the C++ programming language, which is quite a complicated language. And you can program visually in Unreal Engine using the Blueprints system. You do not need to write any programming code, meaning you do not have to be a programmer to use the system. This system is inferior to the C++ programming language, but ideal for architectural visualization tasks. Of course, it would be nice to know some basic programming principles. However, I will try to explain everything to you as clearly and straightforwardly as possible. You will repeat everything I do and you are guaranteed to succeed. We will make the necessary minimum in the tasks of architectural visualization. And our essential task is that you could then all understand and modify it all for your own needs. Let me sketch out some simple blueprint immediately so you have an idea. You do not need to do that now. Look and listen. I go to the top of the blueprints. I press the blueprints button. Click the new empty blueprints class and choose an actor. Blueprints come in many different types. Right now, I am interested in the actor. Choose where to save it. The name I will write my first P. Press save. And the blueprint editor opens. There is nothing here now, and it is blank. We have 3 tabs. The first tab is Viewport, a visual representation of our blueprint. A blueprint in a scene can look like a simple static mesh, but have some logic inside and interactivity. Blueprints can also be invisible in a scene. For example, the character we will do is a blueprint, and so on. The blueprint components it operates with are on the left. Now there is nothing here. I am going to add a static mesh. I want to make some static mesh, and as the logic it has, it will rotate around its axis. I press Add and add a static mesh. There are different types of components. You can add blueprints or anything. I am interested in the type of static mesh. Here I typed in a search for static mesh and press static mesh. I will not change the name. On the right side of the Details tab, I select some static mesh from our content. So I select some vase. It already appeared, but its pivot is offset. Well, that is not very good, but right now, we do not care. I'm applying some material. That is it. So I am done with the components and move on to the next tab. We will not need the construction script tab, and we will not be working on it. We will go straight to Event Graph, which we will be actively using. Visual programming will take place here. It consists of these nodes, which we already have here. It is similar to a material editor. Where different nodes have been connected. We have 3 nodes already prepared. And these are all events. The first node, Event Begin Play, is an event that will be called once only when the game starts. For example, from here, I will pull some logic, choose the necessary node that is the required command to me, then I will continue further. From the events in the gameplay, some sense will emerge, and all that will be further on this thread from here it will work out on every blueprint, which implemented this event once at startup. The game started, and the event begin play event was triggered. There is an event tick event. We will also use this event. This event always works out in every type of our game. Roughly speaking, every millisecond. So avoiding some heavy logic, requiring some constant checks, and so on is desirable, because this will slow down our project and our game. My task of rotating the object ideally suits just the event tick event. Therefore, I pull from the event tick with the left mouse button, release it, and enter the command I'm interested in. I am interested in the add relative rotation command. And there are two such commands. I am interested in the one that's static mesh because I will rotate static mesh. I click, and there it is. This node appears. This node has input data on the left and output data on the right. The first input parameter is a thread of our logic execution. At the bottom are parameters directly concerning the command this node executes. There is a target. This is what this command will be applied to, what we will rotate. In the target, our static mesh of our components is already there. Our vase is already attached to the target. And delta rotation in the axis is a rotation. That is the change of rotation. Here I need to pull out the delta rotation and make another a make rotator so I can rotate it. Here it is at the bottom a make rotator. And already here, I enter on which axis I will rotate our vase. On the z-axis. Let it rotate by 0, 4, and on other axes. Let it rotate less, and let's see what happens. Here I have finished the simple logic. When you complete the blueprint, it should be compiled first. A button is at the top of the page. I press compile it successfully, signaled by a green check mark. Sometimes you have done something wrong, and the blueprint does not compile because of some error in your logic. Then it will say at the bottom what kind of error and what exactly it is. Now I save some more after compiling. Close it, and have to pull our new blueprint into the scene. I returned to where I saved it and dragged it out with my mouse. It's appeared that the pivot is offset. Our vase is over there. Now, I will put it in a comfortable place. Save the whole scene again, because there is a new object on it. And run it and see what happens. We will not create blueprints that way because everything in your scene is already set up as static mesh. We'll just take in a specific place particular static mesh. Be it a sofa, an armchair, or something else, and convert it into a blueprint and make only logic and event graph. That is, we won't add any components. I run our project. I advise to always run it through standalone game. Press on the vertical 3 dots. And here different options standalone game. This is the most current option. It will be the same as when compiling after packaging the project you get the game, which will look like this when running. As with standalone game, I go to the window and see our vase spinning over the water. It seems like some giant bird. In further videos, more details, Alt plus F4 I exit the project.